My name is Lauren Gottlieb. I'm 18 years old.
And I'm a dancer. I genuinely don't like seeing myself on screen. I'm just lying in this whole interview right now. I had danced with tons of artists like Mariah Carey, Shakira, Rihanna. I got fired from teaching Tobey Maguire. Keep going! 5, 6, 7, and ha, ha. And I cried and cried and cried and begged my parents to let me quit. That's a long story. Good luck editing that. Hi, I'm Lauren Gottlieb, and this is my life and likes. So this looks fancy. Let's give this a go. Oh no, guys, no.
Who's been waiting a long
Are you gonna
time
play
to
it?
audition.
My name is Lauren Gottlieb. I'm 18 years old.
And I'm a dancer.
I wasn't old enough last year to audition, and I just watched all season, like just wanting to be up on that stage.
But she still managed to get involved by assisting Ty Storio.
Oh no, guys, this is embarrassing.
It's hot, it's fun, it's all about.
I have too much to say about this. I genuinely don't know where to start, but there's so many great stories. So this is when I auditioned for So You Think You Can Dance. I didn't know until the day before, the night before, that I was gonna audition. I went the next day at 2 a.m. to the Orpheum Theater, downtown Los Angeles. Not a single person standing outside in line because they've already been processed and through. So I go in and they're like, yeah, here's your number. The easiest thing just to walk in. They're like, just go upstairs. Gave me no real direction. So I go in and there is like the whole upper balcony is filled with dancers. And I just walk in so overwhelmed, like the only person just standing up. The first audition was a little like freestyle that we did, made it past the freestyle. I got to the producers round where they ask you questions. And I noticed, because if you heard in this, I had assisted the year before. So, and I was by now a fan of the show. Everyone had a really amazing but sad story. You know, maybe they got injured and they now are able to dance again, or they lost a parent, unfortunately, or one girl, I think, got, some worm inside where she was bedridden for a year. I'm like, I've got nothing. Like, not that you want like a sad story in life, but I was like, I don't have a good TV story. The only thing I have is my wild and crazy energy, hence the like doing weird things and the kick layout and all that jazz. And then I name dropped here or there. I had given Tobey Maguire dance lessons, so I was like, a little name drop here, a little crazy energy here. I'm just gonna be good TV. You can't not take me, right? I got fired from teaching Tobey Maguire. I would give him dance lessons, and one time I would always try to teach him different styles and stuff. So this one move, I tried to make him dip me. And when I was upside down, I got a visual in my head and I just burst out laughing and he popped me up. He was not happy. And he was like, what? And I couldn't tell him that when I was upside down, I got a visual of the upside down Spider-Man kiss and I lost it. But I couldn't tell him that. I was like, no, he'll fire me. And ironically, he fired me because I didn't tell him, but it's okay, here we are. I've still made it in life. Fired, kicked out of his house really quickly, leave. And so I did that round. We went home. They said, tomorrow you have to be here at this time. I get there. They start yelling at me from like all different directions. And I'm like, what's going on? They're like, you're supposed to be first. I was like, out of like thousands of people, I'm first? Like, what? Like, what are the chances? So they were a little mad at me. They're like, go get ready. You'll go up third now. And then I went up, I did my solo. I was the first person to get sent straight to Vegas. I can say that the whole rest of the show did not go as easy as this audition did. I'm so scared. Stop it right now. Oh my God, where'd you even find this? Guys, this was, we called this in the States, where I grew up, the sock hop. I don't know why. But this is my dad, and I just remember this like it was yesterday, like us dancing together. Like, what a cute concept, like a father-daughter dance day. And I just know I just was so happy to like get ready, and like my dad was my date and we danced, and look how young he is with his freaking mustache. I think my outfit's fresh too. I know my mom made that skirt and she was so proud of that. I'm gonna start crying. I'm not gonna cry yet. I don't know if it was this age, but I think it was around this age that I started dancing. I had 2 brothers. I played with Legos and army men and, you know, did a lot of boy stuff. And so one day my mom was like, listen, I think we should do something girly with her. And they put me in dance and I hated it. Like, I thought I was the worst. I think it was around this age too, because everyone started dancing when they were 3 years old, and I think I was like 7, and I thought they were just so much ahead of me. But even though like all you do is like a little step touch, like you don't really like do that much, but everyone knew like the class etiquette and what to do, and I didn't. And I cried and cried and cried and begged my parents to let me quit. And luckily they didn't, because they paid for the whole year. So I continued, and my mom literally let me go on stage and ran into the audience to watch me. Said I didn't mess up, but still, because she knew I'd be like a crying mess afterwards, she went to pick me back up. And that's when I came off stage and I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I have to go back out there. Literally turned around in the middle of the next person's dance and went to walk on stage, and she went to grab me. She was like, no, 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 like, you can't do that. And I never stopped dancing from then. Shall we go on to the next one? Oh wait, did I do it? I did it wrong. Wow, okay. It's out of focus. I don't know who the photographer was. No shade, sorry. I mean, the pose, she's okay. The pose is posing. I'm into the abs. I'm having a hard time with this because I genuinely think I look good. This was the first time in my life I started feeling myself. I was like, girl, you're kind of cute. But I think for me looking at you, I was like, you're a child. Like, I shouldn't say that. I was probably 15 years old. So, but the tan tights under there, that is like a dancer's no-no. It's just like, ugh, if you see tights, you're like, you ain't a real dancer. I remember loving these days of like being in my dance studio and my dance teachers being like, listen, I know you all want to move on, you want to grow up and like get to your lives and stuff, but like these are going to be the most important times of your life and you'll always want to be back here. And we're like, yeah. And now every day I think about it, like the most wholesome, super fun times. Based off of my abs, I can tell I was dancing every day, multiple times a day. And then I started loving it and wanted to make a profession out of dance so much that I started assisting a couple choreographers. And so I would do all of my necessary classes at my studio, and then I would travel to a different studio and I would assist them there. So all throughout high school, I'd get home so late. I don't know when I did homework. I mean, I do. I copied from everyone else's homework. It's the only way I was gonna graduate. What I would say to that cute face that has no idea what's coming for her is, she wants to make me cry. No, I'm not going to. Is just be open that life is gonna throw you random things and stuff. And so if you think your life is going in one direction, continue to be free and open and just roll with it and know that what's coming for you is for you. And I still feel that to this day, so.
Rolling.
Hi, Instagram. I just hit 2 million followers. Thank you guys so much.
What is happening? Based off of my childlike voice, I was probably 25, I want to say. I was on set shooting, oh my God, no. Sorry, it's all coming back to me now. I was actually choreographing for like the one and only Academy Award winning A.R. Rahman. And I hit 2 million followers that day. And just like I said, I have to do something daring and crazy and stupid and run out in the middle of traffic. Yeah, I think it was pretty iconic or dumb. And my mom, I know she called me and she was like, Lauren, can we not do this again. My mom calls me Wild Woman and my dad calls me Sweet One for a reason. So yeah, very much on brand. Shall we go on to the next one? Okay, can I like make this like really fancy and be like, bam. Oh my God, look at my pudgy cheeks. I've gone through many different phases in my life, and I think from the amount of traveling and the amount of stress I put on my body, sometimes I get these really pudgy cheeks. I'm in a pudgy cheek phase right here. But this is Shruti, my longtime manager. Look at her with her mustache. This is my makeup artist, and we went out to have a Guinness because no, that's not a Guinness. I'm just lying in this whole interview right now. I can actually smell where I was at right now, and not a bad way. That sounds really bad. And just like, you know, when you hit like a different part of the world and you're like, what is this? This is different. I'm pretty sure we just flew in. So like after a long flight, I think you're allowed a little beard or two. I'm sure it was only 2. Maybe, probably, yeah. Okay, let's go on to the next one. No, stop it. I can't speak. She's a loss for words. She just passed away a couple months ago. Oh my God. This little nugget, she's a little nugget. This is my little Mika. I'm just gonna speak through the tears because she deserves this right now. This angel came into my life when I didn't know unconditional love. I somewhere was like, no, a dog's gonna fix all my problems. And was in my life for like 19 years. Y'all knew that too, didn't you? But I was on a plane and I had Wi-Fi on the plane and my parents were going to put her down because she wasn't doing well. And I was like, can you guys just wait? I'm gonna be off the plane in like 15 minutes. So I got off the plane and I was able to be there for her last breath. And she was amazing. The thing is about Mika is I got her and I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment in LA. I went back on So You Think You Can Dance as an all-star. And so we were gonna be rehearsing and performing like all throughout the day. And I was like, what am I gonna do? She can't sit, you know, in my 1-bedroom apartment that whole time. So I drove her to Arizona. I dropped her off at my parents' house. And I was like, you're just gonna be here for 3 months until I'm done with the TV show. And then I went back to get her, but we had like an acre backyard. It was like this humongous backyard and 2 other dogs. And she was just like running and playing. And I looked at her, I was like, I think I just lost my dog. Love you, Mika. We're moving on or else I will sit here and cry all day. Here we go. Oh God, what's coming? Oh, let's go. Oh, is it just a photo? I'm waiting for her to go, you stepped on my friend's foot? So this is the Alvin and Chipmunks Chipwreck film. Auditioned for it. This was, I think, like my first couple lines in a, you know, major film. I believe I was club woman #1. Or maybe 2, I don't know. That's on my IMDb is Club Woman 1 or 2. And I was really proud of this one. I still feel a little weird about it because I think I was a little mean to the Chipettes. I think maybe I could have toned down my spiciness and been like, this is a children's film, because I'm a bit saucy. But we battled the Chipettes, and actually I believe I'm also the CGI Chipette. So I'm basically like battling myself at this point. But it was really fun. I still remember the little dance, little salsa action, but I had to go in and like, I had to pick up the Chipette, which was not an actual Chipette at the moment. It was a stick. So it was the choreographer like putting a stick on me, but I went to pick it up and I remember it went deep, deep, and then crawled down my booty and I went doom and kicked it off. So I thought this was super fun, and we had to have these big press-on nails, and this is fun. I love this because all of my children in my life, like my nephews and my friends' kids, they all find this at different times and stuff. So I like this one. I love this. I want this with me everywhere. This is really cool. Where'd you even find this? This is, I think, a promotional thing for my first ever Bollywood film. Such a wild experience. I basically did So You Think You Can Dance. I had danced with tons of artists, like, again, name drop, sorry, Mariah Carey, Shakira, Rihanna, and then any TV show like Glee, I was in the whole first season of it, any movie, anything dance for a while in the States, in the US, I was a part of. And then all of a sudden, I had actually auditioned for Step Up 4, I wanna say it is. And it was between like 6 of us girls for the lead. And it was the night that I found out I didn't book the lead. I genuinely thought my life was over. My manager at the time, he like called me, he's like, you're fine, like it's okay. But I was like, no, like deep down inside, acting and dancing together, like I just so deeply felt like it was supposed to be mine. And I was like wanting to wish my friend who actually booked the lead role, I wanted to wish her good luck and whatnot, but I was like, no, it should have been me. I like tweeted her, MySpaced her at the time, Facebook, text her, you're a rock star, go kick ass. And it was right when I sent those messages, I got an email alert. And so I went and checked it out, and it was the weirdest thing. It was from a production house called UTV Motion Pictures, and they said that they were making India's first ever 3D dance film, like Step Up, and they wanted me as the lead. And I was like, what? Like, how does that happen? Didn't know any of the names that was in the email. You know, they said iconic names like Ramo D'Souza is the director. He was a judge currently on India's version of So You Think You Can Dance called Dance India Dance. And I'm like, what is this? And Prabhu Deva is like the Michael Jackson of India. And I was like, who calls himself the Michael Jackson of India? Like, I didn't know. And I started looking at videos of him. I'm like, he is truly like the best dancer I have ever seen. And the production house was real, and the director was, and everything that was in this email, I was like, no, this is real. Like, this is for me. So I woke my parents up at 4:30 in the morning, and I'm like, I'm going to India. And they're like, shut up, go back to bed. Like, this is not, what are you talking about? And I ended up going to India. I just kept getting drawn more and more to India, and lots of things were happening. An Indian family moved in next door. Oprah went to India. I just kept seeing it, and I was like, okay, something's telling me to go back. So I actually flew myself out there for the promotion. So ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you have to invest in yourself. I think the rest was history. I just never really left. I've been going there ever since. I genuinely don't like seeing myself on screen. Still to this day, I will be like this in all different like ways and stuff, like just not see myself. And then also with doing TV and film like this, I kind of learned along the way not to even tell anyone I'm in something until you see it on screen, especially if you're performing with an artist like a Mariah Carey, Britney Spears and stuff. Like, this is great. These are my favorite times in my life, I think. Let's go. That's a long story. Good luck editing that. And next. Oh God, what's coming? Wow, Manish Paul, let's go. Okay, so after I did my film ABCD, I actually got asked to be on India's version of Dancing with the Stars, or Strictly Come Dancing, called ChalaIckdaja. And I was a contestant on it. I got second place, probably should have won, but it's okay. And then the following year, I got asked to judge. So this was me as a judge. I know I don't look that professional and judgy right now, but this was just a random moment in the show. But it's the coolest story, and I don't know if I've actually ever told the story of how I became the judge, but I was performing at IFA. It's basically like the Oscars for India, and it was like the pre-show, so IFA rocks. And I was on stage with a ton of background dancers. I'm center stage and I'm dancing. I remember clearly, I was like doing this like step like this. And then I go, I don't think I hear my music anymore. And I was like, no, my music stopped. And I start looking around and all the dancers are like going like, we don't know what to do. The music mid-performance at IFA stopped. And that professional dancer just came into my head and I was like, You do not stop. I looked around, I go, keep going. 5, 6, 7, and ha, ha. And we all just started like kind of chanting the sounds and steps like that. And then eventually they cut the lights and let us restart, but the audience went berserk. Now, in that audience was every actor, director, producer, media person, musician, basically anyone who's everyone in Bollywood. Anyone who didn't know me knew exactly who I was at that moment. And then the main IFA night was my birthday, so everyone's like, whoa, happy birthday. The IFA part, like the main, or the after party, Hrithik Roshan is like my favorite actor and dancer of Bollywood. All of a sudden, it was his after party. Everyone splits, and he comes walking down the aisle with a birthday cake, singing me happy birthday. And I was like, I don't know what's going on in my life right now. But that's when the CEO of the network was like, listen, what is it gonna take for you to be a judge on the show? And I said my number, and he said yes, and I became the judge. So, wow, the rain. I think the rain's coming in for dramatic effects right now for this story. I was judging Dancing with the Stars, ChalaIckdaja, and it was like all the contestants are these big celebrities, and this is their careers, and they wanted me to speak Hindi, and I am not the best at speaking Hindi on live TV, and I was just like, I don't want to mess up them and their careers and everything. So I actually met the producer back in India a couple months ago, and she was like, you were really strung out at this time. I was like, yes, I was. I also started realizing that my parents, I was seeing photos or videos of them and not really recognizing them as much anymore. Like everyone's getting older and I'm so far away, and I'm like, I'm not gonna know my parents. Right after this time, I think I took a big break. There's something badass about that. Like the fact that I kind of walked away at the top. This is the one life that I know of, and I want to know who I am without all of this. I need to let it go. So I also knew I wanted to find love. And I was looking, I couldn't find it. I was looking everywhere, like talk about gas station or petrol stations, grocery stores. I'm like, he's gonna be somewhere, right? Went to different countries, was like looking everywhere. So I remember this being my last show, and everyone's like, I don't understand you. You are literally like the it girl in India. And I'm like, but I believe in myself so much. And I also believe that you need to like kind of live life for your art. And everything was feeling very samey to me at that moment. So I chose to walk away and go find myself and to grow and to learn. And I wanted to go to an acting school. So I moved to New York, bucket list. Like I got to experience so many different things instead of just grinding, like constantly being like, it's just about work. So I don't regret any of the choices because I just have grown so much, and I see that in my work now. Dang, London with the rain, let's go. Let's go. I don't boast a lot about myself, but I'm sorry. This is yet another language. This isn't even Hindi, this is Punjabi. And I remember getting on set and he's like, we're doing a oneer. And I was like, excuse me? He's like, it's a one long take. We're gonna show everyone that you can do this. You do like cut. People are like, you just said a couple lines. I don't know how I survived this moment. I think I remember just getting cues, because listen to him, like you can't hear, it's so fast. I don't know anyone else who speaks that fast. This I am genuinely the most proud of, I think, in anything I've ever done. And it's still Jeet, come on. Aw, she's hot. That hair, should I go back to that hair? I love that hair. It's not real. It's extensions, but this isn't real either. This was, okay, so I just told the story about how I moved to New York, did my acting school, and then I moved back to LA. I needed a bit more familiarity. I lived in Beechwood Canyon, like literally outside my bedroom window was a Hollywood sign. It was stunning. And I remember this being the most healing time of my life. Short story, hopefully. There is a castle, because this is like old Hollywood in there. So there was a castle on that hill, and there was like a moment where I sat down and I was full like healing journey time in my life. And I was meditating for the first time, and it really unlocked a lot in me. And I opened my eyes and I saw this castle on the hill, and there was one song that I played over and over again right as I was deciding to leave India to go find myself, and it was Ed Sheeran, Castle on the Hill. And I just saw this like type of castle on the hill, and it says the sun sets over the castle on the hill, and it was setting, and I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be here. Like every moment really does take you to the next. And yeah, this was a really beautiful time in my life until COVID hit, and then it wasn't so great, but we don't talk about that. Wow, okay. It'll play in the edit, right? Okay. Okay, this is the Academy Awards. I still can't believe it. I can't believe I'm actually saying it right now. I got to perform at the Oscars, at the one and only Academy Awards. I don't know if you get to a better stage than that. That was quite epic. And to feel like I fully got to represent both sides of me. I think for a long time I was also a bit confused in my life, because the more I was building in India, the more I felt like I was losing who I was and stuff. So I was kind of going like this, and so to mesh those two worlds together at the Academy Awards, like, come on, I could quit after that. Stunning. Ooh, oh, wow, okay. She looks good. I like her. Talk about my life and likes, right? Like, my now fiance and I met around this time, and I think he actually thought because I was wearing a rainbow bathing suit that I was a lesbian and that he'd have no chance with me because I was gay. I'm not, but I think looking back at that is hysterical. Let's go. The rainbow flag, stop it, stop it. Oh my God, I never knew that was there. Stop it right now. Did you guys put that together? I had no idea. That's epic. Oh my God. I'm gonna go home and show this to him. Okay, this is Tobias. Look at his face. Have you seen someone sweeter, like, and more kind looking than him? We were just friends at this moment. We actually met online, not like a dating app thing. I saw a video of his, and he is ridiculously talented with like VFX and editing, and I loved it so much. I wanted to collaborate with him, and so for like a couple years he lived in London and I lived in LA, and we would collab on stuff. I think our first phone conversation, he thought I was just going to be a quick little thing. I was going to give him a note or two, and 45 minutes later I was like, hey, you sound really cool, we should go for a drink sometime. And I was like, Lauren, you're an idiot. He lives in London and I'm in LA. And I'm usually not, that was kind of forward for me. I'm usually not like that. But I was like, that was weird that I said that. Find out a couple years later, he thought it was gonna be a quick phone conversation. So he was actually naked, about to get in the shower. So he sat there on the toilet for like 45 minutes being like, this girl does not stop talking. So I had come to London for a music video shoot, and then like a few weeks later, I had a film shoot. So I was like, I'll just stay in London. And it was just the perfect amount of time for us to really get to know each other. And because we had been friends for a couple years, this is probably the best advice I got from my mom, is like, take things slow. And even though she thinks this was not taking it slow, we had been friends for 2 years. Like, how much more slow do you want me to go, really? But it did feel like at this moment that we'd like known each other inside and out. So when like that part also felt right, I was like, oh, okay, like this is the one and stuff. Like, we knew each other and know each other more now. I don't want to skip it. He's so... Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is the one. Oh, guys. I'm sorry. Look at the ring. She's so cute. Was she surprised? No, because I designed it. We had a vacation planned. This was in Aruba. On like day 4, something like that, I was like, Is it gonna come? He ends up saying, will you just be ready by 3 p.m.? And I was like, yes, I can. I sure can. He got on one knee and said, listen, Lauren, like, you've had the most fabulous life and journey, and, you know, still here you are. You've chosen me, and you have done so much to like move your life, you know, to London and basically start over. It was just giving all of the gratitude to me. I think this is what he said, because honestly, I blacked out. So I know there was more in there and lots of I love yous, but I can't fully remember. I mean, how? You're just like, it's happening. I knew from the second that we got together when I came to London, he's the best person in the world. And I've had such a crazy life, and I've made it in multiple different places. I'm like, I have it in me. I can do it again. And he's just blowing up right now in London. So I was like, okay, here we go. I'm moving to London. And that's how I'm here, rain and all.
And very, very briefly, what's next for you?
What's next for me? In 2 weeks, I'm getting married. By the time this comes out, I might be married, which is really exciting. I really want to make it here in London and find my journey, find my path. I'm really passionate about doing stuff online, about making content, and also want to get into more of the production side of it as well. Like, I love being in front of the camera and behind the camera and stuff. So I think as I get older, I've done so much work that I'm like trying to find my team members and want to help create great projects going forward, do more content, get married, maybe have some children, who knows, whatever's in the cards, but just continue to grow. And whether that's performing, that's acting, that's choreographing, it's producing or directing, I think it's all of the above. Wow, I mean, what a wild and crazy journey it's been. I'm Lauren Gottlieb, and that is my life and likes. Let's go, that's my life and likes, baby. Oh, sorry, wait, oh, damn it. Oh, wait. You're watching UnPolished. Let's go, UnPolished, let's go.
You.